This week in the Restroom, we get very little stripping, but a lot of blue for a boring 2007 thriller starring Muslim Lindsay Lohan. We've got constipated dancing, robotic appendages, medicated acting, pointless CGI, and a discount serial killer who looks like he's performing a horror show version of the Blue Man Group. It's I Know Who Killed Me, and before we flush it, we're gonna take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey, hey, hey.
Raging Buddha B-movie queen Nora Crest.
What's up?
And sassy cinephile Sarah Polton.
Hi.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Thunder Dump. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Caught blue-handed.
Crest!
Blue is the warmest color.
Polton!
Roses are blue, violets are red. If you have a twin sister, you might end up dead.
I had the life and times of Lindsay Lohan, which I thought was appropriate. Griff!
I know who's headed for rehab.
Oh, Jesus. Crest?
Stigmata twins.
Polton?
I am unaware of who is killing someone who is not myself.
Ugh, man, that's a long way to go for that. I had nobody cares who killed you. Griff?
Stumped.
What? All right, that's pretty good. All right, Crest?
Lindsay Lohan can't pole dance.
Jeez, Polton?
Parent Trap 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No, okay, gotta laugh out of that one. I had the $6 million stripper. Griff?
Sarah took mine.
And that is time. Oh, all right. There were some really good ones this time. Unfortunately, the loser this time is going to be Nora Crest. Your first one out of the gate.
Blue is the warmest color.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. The voice this time you're going to be doing is that of a phone sex operator.
Oh, boy.
Good luck.
Oh my good, this is embarrassing. All right. Hank.
So is this movie. Look, I'm paying $2.99 a minute here. Let's go.
I Know Who Killed Me is a 2007 American psychological horror thriller directed by Chris Silverstein and starring Lindsay Lohan. The film's story revolves around a student's twin who was abducted and tortured by a sadistic serial killer. Right there, do it there. She manages to make it out alive, but after she regains consciousness in the hospital, she insists that her identity is that of another woman. The film was released on July 27, 2007. Yes. It was nominated for 9 Golden Raspberry Awards and won 8, setting a new record for most awards that won in a single year until Jack and Jill won 10 in 2012. Lindsay Lohan tied with herself to win Worst Actress and also won Worst Screen Couple for both characters portrayed.
There you go, folks.
Thank you.
Woo!
And now what I sound like in bed.
Is anybody else wet, or is that just me? There's your,
Honor sliding off his chair right
now. Yeah. And that's an image, folks. Well, there's your Restroom Stall Stats, and woo, it's very warm in this room right now. I guess I got to put on the air conditioner. Even it's 48-degree weather. Thank you, Miss Crest. Great job there. And let's continue on. Boy, if you ever wanted to see The Parent Trap redone as a horror film, here you go. I did not have enough $1 bills to enjoy this film properly.
Apparently, this film didn't have enough $1 bills to on the stage for Lindsay.
Hey-oh! Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about that. Folks, if you were expecting Lohan to appear nude in this stripper thriller, you better lower your expectations.
She was wearing, like, full coverage panties.
Yeah, that was the big sell of this film, though, is because she was going to portray a stripper, and everybody went to see the movie thinking she was going to strip. We're going to talk about that.
She doesn't show her
She doesn't show jack shit.
There was more side boob when she was stumbling out of a club.
$10 says a screenwriter listened to Foreigner's Double Vision a bunch of times while drunk and then came up with the story.
Oh my God.
I know.
So bad.
That's for you
The
classic
opening
rock
scene of
fans.
This movie, I mean, strip clubs are already
I know, it's
nasty
coming up.
places. I don't know that
I
there's
know.
like a super posh
Well,
one that exists anywhere.
I think there
but
are.
this has got to be like the jankiest,
I know.
nastiest, and you know these guys are there for the lunch buffet and shit. Like,
Well,
they're
even
gonna
though
keep
it's- yeah.
this-
Eggs and legs every Friday night.
Because I'm drifting through a dream. You know you're in trouble when your film opens inside a cheesy strip club, as Crush just mentioned, while someone recites a beat poetry over the soundtrack.
Well,
What were they
God,
saying?
it's-
What is that?
My first note was voiceover. No, wait, Lindsay's reading a story to a class. Like, and then I wrote, she's a college student?
Yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't
Yes.
tell if she was the
But that's-
teacher or what.
But it even felt like a high school class where it's like
Right?
she's being some severely inappropriate material.
strip tease. T''S. How lazy was this production design, guys? Was Jiggles and Poon already taken?
Yeah, milkshakes with a Z.
Oh,
I
man.
would go there. Nothing was worse than the men at these clubs looked so bored and so
Well,
unenthusiastic.
yeah, I
They all
know.
looked like
Right?
they were running a low-grade fever, and just like they were in the waiting room at the doctor's office, while Lindsay Lohan
No, it's DMV.
unenthusiastically walked in circles around the bar. Doesn't do any striptease. It like no moves. Doesn't take any
Can I
clothes
just say
off.
one thing? Even at that one point where she takes the guy's cigarette from him, I
Cigarette,
guess this is
oh
later in
my
the movie.
God.
That's later,
and,
yeah.
and she starts running the cigarette in her fingers down her leg. Then you don't see her touch her vagina with it.
No.
It's implied, and then she smokes it for a second and hands it back, and then the guy's sniffing it. It's
Yeah,
like,
we'll come around. We'll circle back around.
What?
That bit. Yeah, I know.
I mean, these are who does that?
That's my next note. Is Lindsay Lohan slow burns onto the stage like her heroin shot just kicked in through a series of out-of-focus shots like the cameraman was masturbating and trying to film at the same time. 2-minute mark. You know your strip club sucks, guys, when the person with the most clothes on is the stripper.
Yeah.
There was guys in wife beaters in there.
Was she like stripping for her methadone? I don't
She
get it.
well, we'll come back to this. There's an extended. We do actually get a full stripper scene, not for a long time. This is the only.
Yeah.
This is the
No,
first.
not
but
till 3/4 of the way
yeah,
through
we
the
do. We
movie.
just circle back around to this. But let me tell you, she doesn't strip at all, and she doesn't really move a lot. I don't know. We'll get into. Here's a technical question for the ladies on the show, which is everybody else and me, I guess. If blood shows up in your stripper pole, does that mean the stripper is having her period? Like, what was the end of that scene? The last. I know. It's not even a hey-o.
You know what?
It
It's-
just got more disgusting.
You know what?
Yeah.
though? It could be.
Well, yeah, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not gonna rule it out. I'm just saying the end of that scene has her slow, like sliding down the stripper pole and blood's flowing down the stripper pole.
I
That's,
was
that's
okay
why.
with that.
Okay,
That was
so
fine.
all right, so we got a thumbs up from Pole.
I got it. Like I didn't. That's not.
I didn't get it at all.
Like,
What do you mean? What is there to get?
Her moves were so lazy that I was like, no way her legs could
The-
get up that high.
No, she wasn't getting her hoo-hoo on that pole.
That's a lazy stripper, man. That is a lazy. We'll talk about her. I'd want my money back.
That's the school of Sarah Polton stripping right there.
She knew a trick. She knew how to turn her life into a movie and watch things happen. Pretty much like what Muslim Lohan did for her entire career. And Lindsay Lohan, of course, has now become the Cat Stevens of bad career moves.
Oh no, you mean that like when he like? Well, okay, but that was.
No, you didn't get that joke.
Don't
Okay, no.
compare it to that. That was
Okay, you did get the joke. Okay. Well, no, that's a bad career moves. I said this is not a bad story. In case you're wondering, folks, Lindsay Lohan has recently converted to being a Muslim.
She said she's educating herself.
Oh, okay, if that's what did you put the air
Yeah,
quotes
like,
up when you
yeah,
did
I
that?
think
You put air
Lindsay's been
quotes
on
up?
a spiritual quest now for like the last decade.
What?
She was into Kabbalah for a bit. She's trying. No, I'm serious. She was. She
Like,
was
yeah,
wearing
you
the
can look
little.
at
Well,
it.
what is she doing?
Was,
She's,
she got into Kabbalah with Madonna.
it's
and
attention,
shit.
is what it is.
And
Is
she's,
attention.
She's trying to figure herself out.
I don't know if she's trying to figure herself out. She's just trying to. I think she's just trying to great attention. That's kind of why we're doing this film this
Well,
week.
I think it's both.
She doesn't have a career now, folks, and this film is really good evidence of that. Even though this film was 10 years ago.
Apparently, she went to rehab for the first time during the filming of this movie.
That's
Yeah.
not surprising.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think she took the stripper thing a little too serious.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. Well,
Her
Well,
voice.
but the
I know.
wrong part of the stripper thing.
Her voice is so deep and so gravelly.
She's like a
and
dude.
She's
Well,
got the
that's
voice
cigarettes.
of like a 60-year-old woman who's been smoking for also
Oh,
60
yeah.
years.
And she lives on whiskey.
the Best New Artist competition is less than a month away, And the way Lohan is playing that piano around the 5-minute mark, I don't think she's going to do very well, guys. She sounds
like a 4-year-old in their third lesson.
She's a young college student who's going to college, and she's a writer, and she wants to focus more on writing than she does her piano playing. I guess she has a talent for piano. I don't see it in this scene because I think she's terrible.
At home taking piano lessons.
Yeah, why would you?
I know, and we don't see her parents until way later in the film.
Yeah. Way later.
And it's like, wait, she has parents? Like...
Yeah, I know that, and that's introduced because for necessity of plot. We'll talk about the parents and who they are, and we'll get to it. But anyway, she's in this piano scene, and the piano teacher sits down, and he says, "Watch this hand." This is what Bill Cosby said to those women while his other hand slipped a roofie into their drinks. Let me finish the joke. Or here's the
return.
Wait.
2017 and the Return of the Cosby.
Or here's the alternate. This is what most pimps say right before they backhand their hose. All right, we're gonna. All right.
I actually like that.
All right, we're gonna go with that one.
But can I say right here in this? I'm just gonna go off my notes here.
All right.
The first note that I had
was
during her little, speech in class where she's reading her story, and I literally wrote twin question mark. The second note I wrote was this disgusting blue ring is obviously foreshadowing for this entire movie. Just because I was like, why are we zooming in on this man wearing this ridiculous costume jewelry?
We're going to talk a lot about the color blue. We're going to talk a lot. All right, we're not going to give anything away, but we're going to talk about the color. No, but all right. I'm going to mention this right now. The hairless cat appearance around the 7-minute mark is actually the only hairless pussy you're going to see in this turd. So enjoy it, kids. Hey-oh!
I don't like hairless cats. They're creepy deepy, and that thing was not neutered.
Well, we all like a good hairless pussy. That cat was the creepiest thing in the film, actually.
Why do we have to see gigantic hairless cat balls? No.
I watched this movie alone on a Saturday night.
Here we go. That's really sad. Where did you find a blue rose? At the local Dollar Tree. Duh.
Oh my God,
so a boyfriend shows up.
Somebody took a cake rose and
The boyfriend shows up, the pseudo-boyfriend, he plays football. He's the a college football guy, and he's the boyfriend of Lindsay Lohan. He shows up with this blue rose. This is the type of flower low-income residents give to someone in the hopes of getting laid behind a 7-Eleven dumpster. It's production.
I've been there. I've had a guy give me a rose.
Like an adult?
Not that rose.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Then he says,
I was alone on Saturday.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys watch Chicago PD. He was on Chicago PD as a major character.
Oh, okay. So he's done
great,
stuff.
and he's all good. Okay. He's gonna be on the new spinoff, I think, Chicago Justice. But it was funny seeing him as this like completely dorky goof guy who clearly is not a jock.
Right, and he's like, we barely ever have sex because I don't want to disrespect you. Okay, you're supposed to make me believe a college football player acts like that?
Yeah. And he says, you okay? And the rose is clearly made of fabric, folks. So how did Lohan manage to prick her finger on it? The 8-minute mark. It doesn't make any sense. All right, unless it's cheap plastic. It's a cheap plastic stem.
The casting here is majorly, I mean, he's 1 year older than me. This guy. He has super baby face though, because Lindsay Lohan is a wee baby.
Yeah, she looked like she was maybe 50, and he looked like he was 15.
Right?
I was very confused.
She was 21 at the time, and this was 2007, so it was
she
7
looks
years
about
ago. I'm trying to do math real quick here in my head.
I know.
So he
She's
was
younger
30.
Than I am?
He was 34.
He was 34,
and
really?
She was 20.
No, she was 30. I would have bet $1,000 it was reversed.
Yeah. Yeah, her, she looks, it's smoking. That's what it does, man. It ages your face.
Well, and now, how bad was it that they had to resort to getting a 34-year-old?
So in the next scene, they're at they're in class together, and he, rubs his hand on her leg or on a thigh. Science class or some bullshit. And she says, is that all I am to you? Someone to relax you before the game? That's a stupid joke. Okay. Can you point out for me the female reproductive organs? No, that's a terrible joke too. Jesus, I must have been in a real mood when I wrote with somebody. So they're in class together, and it's a lot. They haven't fucked basically, and that's kind of the contention of the scene.
Real quick, it says in the trivia it was Jeff Hammond's first and last film as a screenplay writer.
Yeah, I wonder why, because he probably committed suicide after this film came out. There you go. Sorry, and I got some more notes about Jeff. Good thing now you mentioned that. I'm sure he's still alive and well, but he wisely stopped writing. Now let's get out there and win this one for Jennifer Toland, because that's what she really would have wanted, folks. A bunch of college douchebags winning a badly edited football game at the 13-minute mark. We should mention college. Jennifer Toland was a college student who got brutally murdered in some hectic, badly edited scene, and then we heard her scream, right? This is all before this happened. Yeah, and that's it for that. We'll find out later what actually happened to Jennifer Toland. It's not pretty. I'm warning you now. It's not pretty what happened to her. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know why they do that at football games. I think that was kind of lame. Unless she was a cheerleader. In that case, that might have been okay, but I don't know. Was the editor, and that's my next question, guys, was the editor on speed when he cut this film together? Half the film looks like something Jackson Pollock would have crapped out. The editing is so bad in some of these sequences, at least in the first 30 minutes. Between the football game, which is badly edited, and of course that aforementioned Jennifer Tolan murder scene in that weird basement in the Buffalo Bill Silence of the Lambs basement.
Why do all serial killers
They all have a basement.
have weird shit hanging from
Can't
the ceiling?
I know? Well, we'll talk about, and we're going to talk about that.
They all have the same floor plan.
Aubrey, why are you screaming her name into the street like she's a lost child? So Aubrey, that's Lindsay Lohan's name in the character's name in the film, is supposed to meet her friends after the football game at this movie theater.
And you knew you were like, girl, you're dumb. No,
yeah, she goes chasing after her
when
boyfriend.
The boyfriend shows up. They're clearly like, this guy did something to her. So they're like, oh yeah, she parked over by the place where she parks.
Yeah,
the car.
I know. We go into Red Herringville right off the bat. And he says, then he says, there's the car. Well, thank God she left that Dollar Tree blue rose on the dashboard so we all know it was hers. 16-minute mile. Who carries that around? How did it even make it out to the car?
Because she had it at the game.
Oh, did she have it at the game?
Yeah.
Because that's what college students do.
You're going to take
their boyfriend's rose.
your fabric rose?
They're not in high school.
No. Surprised to know when Lohan would end up in a Buffalo Bills basement around the 17-minute mark to get tortured and murdered. Unfortunately, we still have more running time left in this turd. Sorry, folks. And we'll come back to that scene in a minute. She obviously gets abducted, and then she wakes up in this grungy basement we've been talking about because no serial killer in movies seems to have a clean environment, except Dexter. She loves to write and drink and do drugs and have lots of sex. Well, who doesn't, really? Sorry, talking about that. I'm actually talking about Lindsay Lohan.
So she she's supposed to be like, what's his name? Jim Morrison?
In case you weren't sure if Lohan's character was going to be tortured and murdered in the previous scene, well, now hammer home that point around the 21-minute mark by having the killer saw her frostbitten fingers off with a blue piece of glass. That's is that where you threw up, Chris? Because that scene is pretty grungy.
Part and the separating the dry ice thing.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah,
that was so.
Well, he puts.
What got was like, why does it look like this is like leftover props from Batman when Arnold Schwarzenegger was playing Dr. Freeze? Like that's all I could think of. Like, where did this? Like,
who has that much dry ice?
At one point, like,
well,
how do you take all the time to make these glass cutting instruments for what?
Well, that was my next line. I said there was so much blue in this film, I thought the killer would turn out to be that striped shirt idiot from Blue's Clues.
Right?
That would have been awesome with Steve from Blue's Clues. Like
the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of those jokes coming up. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely the Blue Man Group killer, folks, in case you're wondering, because we'll talk about that.
Well, if you look at the poster for the film, it's a blue rose that's bleeding blue with Lindsay Lohan's face on both sides of it.
I know.
They're fucking telling you in the poster.
He puts a whole block of dry ice. I guess you can just get that shit anywhere. I didn't know dry ice comes like that.
Oh, yeah. You can buy that.
All right, never mind. Whoa, I'm sorry, serial killers. So it's not enough just to saw off the person's fingers or hand. He has to dry ice them first for some reason. He puts a big block of dry ice and freezes up the hand.
If he had,
it doesn't make any sense.
Pressed her hand with the dry ice for hours,
which
it would take for it to become necrotic like that, she would feel nothing. It would already be dead.
Right. That's right. So she's screaming. I know. So, but it's a grisly shot. I think it was an unnecessary shot for this film, even for this movie.
Give it to the practical effects.
It looked good.
I figured it was because of blood, like so it wouldn't get messy.
Maybe no, but he has a table though. He's got a table though where it has the blood drain. He's got that morgue table. He's got a morgue table.
When you're cleaning the cutting. When you're cutting the dead limb off, you're still gonna have veins that are gonna work and stuff.
So we're all experts on.
This is just all a torture thing. I mean, the dry ice itself would be torturous, and taking the amphetamines would make you be awake while your body part is dying. But at some point, your frostbite kicks in, and then it goes into necrosis, and then you don't feel jack shit.
Hey, you okay? What's not okay, folks, is the amount of Botox this actress has stuffed into her lips around the 24-minute mark. She looks like a Macy's balloon float. That's the girl who got out of the car. She was on her phone, and that's where she found the shallow grave on the side of the road. It turned out to be Lindsay Lohan.
Version of Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, what is with her lips? Yeah. Like, it's way too much Botox,
did you not
guys.
Notice that she's like a Lindsay Lohan, like porn version of Lindsay Lohan. And then she gets out and she's saying all the stuff that she had said in the story. I felt like I was half a person.
Oh, was that okay? So maybe she was this stripper.
Yeah. And then she's discovering Lindsay Lohan. I was like, now we have a triplet somehow.
She was Lohan's stripper trainer for this for the movie. I guess. I don't know.
Maybe it was her body double.
Yeah, it could have been a body double. I don't know. But so anyway, they find the body and she says she's alive. And that's where I said, damn, I thought we'd have a Lohan free film from this point on, but no. She's still in the movie, folks, and we're barely into it. Oh my God. Or oh my God, ... Lohan's character discovers she lost a hand and a lower leg, folks, which made me secretly hope the late Miguel Ferrer would show up in that hospital room and transfer into a female version of Robo Stripper. Yeah, let's pour one out for Miguel Ferrer. That would have been an awesome film. But no, unfortunately, we do not. We do get Robo Stripper, though. We do. That's coming up, folks. We do get Robo Stripper. We do get that.
This is like the really awkward prequel to Westworld.
He only had her for what, 17, 18 days? Which would seem like an eternity if you had to deal with Lohan on a daily basis. Cheap joke there. I don't know what she was like on this shoot. I'm sure she was kind of a pain in the ass, I'm sure.
Oh, no, she never showed it. Like, there were legal problems. Because
Jesus.
She would never show up on time or wouldn't show up at all. And she had to have her appendix taken out like halfway through production and a rehab at that time. I mean, it was a mess.
Okay, so all right, so we got issues there. Okay, so this is basically on par with the Lohan's performance. Okay, we got it. Dakota Moss. Here we go. Dakota Moss. I put a question mark. What stripper name roulette wheel did the screenwriter spin to come up with this gem? How about like Jersey Swamp or Velvet Labia or Busty Jane? Like these are just the worst.
Velvet Labia is now my nickname on all my lesbian dating sites.
That's an absolutely terrible. Jesus Christ. That's an absolutely.
Every man I date from now on, date 2, I'm taking him home, I'm sitting his ass down, and I'm making him watch this movie. And if he enjoys it, I'm immediately dumping him.
Oh, that's true. All right, there you go.
Get out.
That's a good date barometer. That's really good.
I don't know. I think you need to like let him watch it while you like wait in a safe room or something.
I'm a tough lady. I'm real feisty. I'm not worried about that.
So it's a guys, Dakota, like really, that's Jeff Hammond. No wonder why he quit screenwriting and started drinking or doing meth. I don't know what he's doing, but that's a terrible name, guys. You could have come up with a better. We just named 3 other stripper names, one of which Chris is going to take as her nickname. So right there, I mean, Dakota Moss.
You think like the Who's Aubrey was actually like just captured candidly because she'd forgotten who her character's names were?
That was the joke. Honestly, Griff, that was a joke I wrote that I threw it out because I didn't think it was. But I think you're right. We both came. I think she did. I think she probably just forgot who she was doing because, like you said, she wasn't there on set probably for half the shoot. So that's all. Like that's really unprofessional. I hate citing that out. I hate when actors do that because you're holding up everybody else. I don't. If you want to be a dickhead, that's fine. But don't hold up everybody else in the process. There's other actors and crew and cast that have to be there. Show up. So apparently, here's the deal, folks. She wakes up in a hospital bed. She says she's not Aubrey, that she's actually a stripper named, or just a woman named Dakota Moss, who took a job as stripping. We're going to talk about that shortly. And so now the family, the mother and the father, we should mention, the mother is Julia Ormond, a great actress who's wasted in this film.
Seriously, like what, like girl,
I think she was on drugs. She was
talking
like the
Julia,
whole movie like she was on tranquilizer.
Yeah, she's tranked out.
Well, okay, she probably needed to after like all this shit.
Oh, she's her talents are. If you just look up her filmography, she's done some wonderful work. Not this film.
I'm like, oh girl, what kind of tax bill did you have?
Yeah, she owed some money to something.
In 2007, she did this gem and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was a TV short. It was not the movie.
Yeah, not the movie.
The best thing she ever did was Legends of the Fall.
Well, there you go.
And
all right, well, it's still a better film.
Yeah, and then she was in First Night, and then it's just a bunch of like crapola, and then some CSI New York, and then Nurse Jackie, Law and Order CI.
So she's done well, but a lot of that stuff is better than this film.
Now she's on Incorporated.
Oh, that's where she shows up.
Supposed to be really good. But,
all right, so and the father is played by a veteran character actor, Neil McDonough. Basically, red herring, stamped that on his forehead. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. But Neil McDonough has a laundry list of filmography. Crest, we don't have to go through all of them. But,
I love him.
Yes, he's a very good character.
He's so great.
And he's on lithium in this film. No, he's not. He's on lithium in this film. We'll talk about that when we get to him.
I'm just delicious.
Yeah, oh, geez, okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he has like those eyes.
So the family is they're flummoxed as the why she's not Aubrey, and she's insisting she's just Dakota Moss, a terrible stripper name. This is Mr. Jervis. Why is the mother suddenly acting like a special needs child? This is the confused, the confused look on Lindsay Lohan's face to actually match my own after that horrible line reading at the 33-minute mark. Julia Ormond comes to visit her in the hospital, and she's bringing some shit from home for Lohan, who's still obviously in bed, and she pulls out this bear, And she's like, this is Mr. Jervis. Like, what?
That's super creepy.
It's fucking creepy. I don't.
My dad does a voice for my favorite stuffed animal, which is named Snuff. And it goes something like,
not cocaine related.
Sarah? It's real. Hi, Sarah. It's Snuff the bear. And it's fun.
Okay.
Dad Will Ferrell?
My dad is like Tom Hanks.
Paul, and if I were you, I would cut that bear open. He's probably got 2 keys of coke in there. That's why it's named Stuff.
Is that why he's so heavy?
Yeah, you might be holding for your father. You might be,
That's why you get so much energy every time you squeeze him real quick.
Yeah. She gets a little poof in her face. That's wonderful. She's not safe. And neither are we from everybody's terrible acting this turn. Everybody does a terrible performance. There's not one good performance in this film. We're talking veteran actors. Neil McDonough, Julie Ormond, who we just mentioned. Well, no.
Garcelle Beauvais.
I can't even pronounce that. Some Latino.
No, it's not.
Okay, all right. Well, some foreigner.
The detective.
Oh, okay, all right. She's look, they're all
RCL Beauvais.
Yeah. All right. We'll get to her. But she's terrible too. Everybody really does it.
It feels like everybody's really disoriented.
I think they were disoriented because of Lohan. I think sometimes when the center of energy spins out, everybody else kind of spins out with it. And I think when she like just DOAs and disappears, or AWOLs, I should say, not really DOA. Everybody else doesn't really know what to do, and it kind of throws off the energy and throws off everybody's performance and direction, and everybody kind of. So it doesn't take much. One person can derail an entire production. That's happened on production after production in movie history. Look it up. If one person's an asshole like Marlon Brando. And a couple of films that he's done, everybody else, everything can go to shit. You can literally lose. Or Elizabeth Taylor, there's Hollywood horror stories abound, and Lohan's no exception. I think that's what happened here. I know everybody did this for a paycheck. It's a paycheck movie, folks. The budget's only what, $7 million? No, it's 12 million. I'm sorry. It's you know what I said? It was 7% on the tomato meter. I don't want to confuse the two. $12 million budget, total shit on the tomato meter. So in case you're wondering, folks, that's where we stand with this film, and that's why everybody's kind of on autopilot.
Apparently, it was like the only film of that year to get an immediate F cinema score.
Damn.
Yeah.
Guys, I watched this movie for free on Crackle, which is every time cut into Lindsay Lohan and it like boop. Get the new Call of Duty DLC because it like knows to market video games to me.
Oh
and
my
great.
God!
I can go hang up all my drawers. Nothing ruins the rhythm and flow of this movie like.
Crack. Well, that's cheapo.
If you want to watch this movie for free, though, download Crackle and
Paul,
you
just pay the damn money.
The advertisement.
No, that's.
Yeah, but you know what? This movie has about as much rhythm as her pool dancing.
I'm just reading the trivia here, and it's really kind of sad because not only did she enter rehab during this, but she had her appendix out. She got appendicitis and had to stop filming, and then it got infected. Like,
that's gross.
I have a feeling though it got infected because she wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
She wasn't following like the.
No, she was rubbing cocaine on her scar and shit. Yeah, she's probably doing cocaine.
Well, and also she couldn't promote the film properly because she got her DUI when she was supposed to be on all the talks with promoting it.
I mean, she's a train wreck.
If your ID says you're 21, you're fucking 21 to me. This is what I imagine all strip club managers look like.
Fat Tina.
No, she's not fat at all. She looks like a strung-out version of Carol Burnett.
Exactly.
37-minute mark.
You know what? I liked her.
I did too.
Now we're actually into the strip club, and now that's the strip club manager, folks. And she's, like I said, a strung-out version of Carol Burnett. She's a brutal. An exotic dancer. That's what the hostess job turned out to be. We're not going to put the serial killer story on hold, folks, as we stop the film to watch Lohan's stripper pole dance like she was recovering from a hernia operation or an appendectomy, apparently, the 38-minute mark. Her dancing is so bad it makes showgirls look like Flashdance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the point of
dancing.
I thought the point, right?
Around.
That's my thing.
She looks like it looks like the pole's like keeping her steady. Like
I thought the point of a strip club was to watch women with daddy issues strip. So why is Lohan still wearing clothes? A lot of clothes.
There was like a pole
you got a pole?
You
got a pole?
When I was a little kid, just to be fun, like wee, like just walking around it and spinning around it. That's not stripping.
It's she's terrible. She did not take the lessons or the trainer or whatever. They always have a stripper pole trainer
Demi Moore trained for months.
Yeah, exactly. And striptease. If you're guys, it's the one thing you had to get right in this film. Literally, it's the one thing.
Spread her legs.
Ew.
You could tell that wasn't her because like they cut away. It was like a distant shot,
right?
And like it showed her actually displaying some sort of like flexibility, and then they cut back to her. They did a close shot.
But also, why is she laying facing her vagina away from all of the customers?
I know.
She's flashing the pole. Like, if I was a guy in a strip club and I'm finally going to see something, and I'm like, bitch, why are you pointed the wrong way?
Fingers, leg, hand, fucking gone. Yeah, but I still think she can keep her job as an exotic dancer. I don't think that's gonna be it. Yeah,
you don't care.
Well,
it's gloves on.
It's a cheap strip club, guys. Who cares? Like as long as the important parts are there. You got tits and cooch.
But how's she gonna hold that cigarette? And
well, that's coming up. That's coming up.
Another hand.
You guys really want to go into that? We're gonna talk about the cigarette. It's marvelous. First of all, I've been to a couple not a lot of strip clubs. I should retcon that. I've been to a couple strip.
About that?
I've been to a couple strip clubs, and I've never seen the cigarette into the cooch thing. I think I did see a golf ball or a ping pong ball fly out of somebody's twat, but that's different. That's a whole. That's a whole.
Ping pong balls.
Yeah, they do. That's what they do. Yeah, you shoot them out. Yeah, you shoot them out. That's amazing.
I've seen it. No,
Asians do it.
Seen it, but it's been in certain movies, especially like.
Yeah. Okay, Griff. Yeah. Asian.
What do they do with the ping pong
They
balls?
shoot it out. They shoot out the guys.
Yeah.
Griff got hit in the head with one.
I gotta go try this out.
I know. No. Paul, don't. You're gonna injure yourself.
That's like Kegels on stack.
Oh no, it's amazing. It's amazing shit to see.
I think I went beer pong.
Let me just say, if you're playing beer pong like that, honey,
yeah,
everybody's a
yeah,
winner.
Paul, if you're playing, yeah, exactly. We're showing up for your next party. That's awesome. Say hello to your new state-of-the-art hand. Which is going to make it hella easy to hang on to that slimy stripper pole when she goes back to work, guys. 48-minute mark. So, folks, now she's a stripper who has no money, and she gets outfitted with the robo-stripper hand. She gets a robotic hand and leg.
They believe that she's their daughter.
But that's a lot of money,
people
guys.
People are paying for their daughter's medical treatment.
First of all, that technology didn't exist in 2007. It sure as hell doesn't even exist now. It
actually kind of does.
Yeah, but not in that context. Not the way she had like an Iron Man hand. Like they outfit her with a really robotic hand.
Really?
And then they're like, we're gonna put this really non-creepy skin thing.
Ew, yeah, I know that's the skin. We'll talk about that.
Now we don't have to have a mechanical thing on your arm anymore because your real hand is there.
It's like a condom.
By the way, you have to charge it like a cell phone.
Yeah.
I know, right?
You gotta get your USB cable and jam it into your computer. Excellent. You'll be back on the dance floor in no time, Dakota, as Robo Stripper. That's a better film. This film should have been called Robo.
But that kind of looks like a Dollar Tree version of Luke Skywalker's hand.
This is not. Yeah, this is at the Return of the Jedi. Yeah, this is the Skywalker hand. So she gets a brand new robotic hand, the Luke Skywalker hand. And she gets a leg too. Awesome, right? You have to charge USB. They get her home, and then her boyfriend comes to visit, and the line is, "Those flowers for me." And that's why I said, how many Dollar Trees did this dolt have to visit to get a dozen of those shitty blue roses? He looks like he's on his way to a funeral in a poor neighborhood.
He knows a place around the way.
It's a 53-minute mark on that, folks. It's bad enough they found one, but he managed to find 11 more? I don't know.
You can get him at Harris Teeter.
There's only one of these. Better make it last. Q70's porn music as the college football douche gets it on with amputee Lohan around the 54-minute mark. Here we go. Folks, you know you're horny if you're still willing to fuck your girlfriend after she's lost a couple of limbs. That's you really got to be hard up because she lost an arm. Like she only can use one.
You know you're horny if you just lost a couple of limbs and the first thing you want to do is fuck.
Yeah, right. First of all, she's really recovering from trauma, and so they go upstairs. Like the boyfriend are downstairs in the living room, and the mother's home.
This is like a Tuesday for her.
I know.
Arm and leg are gone. Whatever.
But the boyfriend doesn't know.
And then like Julia Ormond in the kitchen.
Yeah.
She's like scrubbing the sink.
My only notes on this scene was I mean, this is like a super expensive
house.
It's
a terrible
scene. This house so fucking
loud. Yeah.
Like she's on the third floor.
Yeah. No, she's way up there.
Why is Julia Ormond like furiously scrubbing things while her daughter's having sex? I mean, that's just weird.
And she's looking up, going, my allegedly college-age daughter is having sex.
Can I just say, if this was my mom, she would bust open that door.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah, I don't care how many limbs you lost. You're not fucking in this house. Get up. Jesus Christ.
What? What are the odds Lohan was actually fucking this guy while they were shooting?
Yeah, she was grinding a bit there.
She was grinding.
Are you sure this isn't the same situation like Just My Luck, where she was like everybody in the movie?
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's right. She was actually fucking most of the.
At this point, I think she wanted to and was trying to make it happen and like will it into happening and like turn him on enough in the sex scene to. I think she wanted him and he was like not having it.
By the way, if you just like Google porno music, this is probably how they found it.
Oh yeah, it's important.
I was honestly surprised it didn't have if you ever go if you're looking for like soundtracks, there's a site called Audio Jungle, and you can like find.
Here we go.
And so when you're listening to the sample, it'll be like doo-doo-doo-doo, Audio Jungle, doo-doo-doo-doo, And so they put. I was waiting for that to just come up because I just wait. Audio Jungle.
Honestly, if she had stroked him with a robotic hand and accidentally ripped his dick off, I would immediately given this movie a thumbs up. That would have been awesome, right? Just crush his penis.
They were gonna do the classic, I thought they were doing the classic Skinamax sex scene where it always starts out with a blowjob, then it goes into some
you're not getting all
sex,
that.
Then it goes into doggy style.
What are you watching?
It goes into some wackadoodle position, and then everybody
all people have sex like this.
Orgasmic face mode, all sweaty, and then they fall back on pillows. Like,
wow.
We didn't have that. Like, why didn't we have the normal Skinamax thing?
No, we didn't get but it was still a long scene, even though we didn't have all that. She just crawled on top of it.
And who keeps their bra on that long?
Yeah, she kept it on way. Nobody.
Am I supposed to keep my bra on the whole time?
No, Paul, you're not.
In my size, I will keep the bra on. Otherwise,
I'm
gonna smother someone to death.
All right. Well, that's a safety problem.
Didn't have to do that. She's got perky tits.
Yeah, she got take the bra off. The bra's supposed to be off. Yeah, it's a safety tip for Chris, but everybody else just take the bra off. You're supposed to be completely naked. She didn't want to obviously show nudity. She was now top in the one. There was one shot where she did have the bra off, and I guess the guy. But you can see the guy sneaking a look at her tits. You can actually see him look down when she went up a little bit.
Bra off. That's what I'm telling you. Movie magic. Later in that same scene, she's rolling over onto
her back.
But
I'm talking about when she was.
It's just strapless.
Oh, maybe she had it on the front.
The top
okay,
straps are gone, and then they airbrushed out.
Oh, really?
Airbrushed in the side boob. That's not real side boob.
So we didn't get anything, folks. So, folks, if you're looking for any Lohan nudity, you have to wait for the canyons. I'm sorry.
I mean, her boobs are still flopping in his face, so of course he's looking at it. It's right in his face.
Yeah, poor guy's got no choice but to look at that shit.
Well, and the director's off screen going.
That's probably the best view you're gonna get in this movie.
Well,
so.
And the
really is.
Director's off camera, like going, "Look at them, look at them."
I bet he was. So that's that thing. Yeah, enjoy, folks, at the 54-minute mark. Have at it. People get cut. That's life. You know what also gets cut off of films like this one? Did anyone understand her losing a finger at the strip club scene at the hour and 3-minute mark? We don't understand that till later. But when it happened, we see it. She's at the strip club and her middle finger falls off. And then we don't know why it turns gray and falls off. It's so ham-handedly done. We don't understand if it was a fantasy sequence or a dream sequence or it actually happened. Apparently, I guess it actually happens. But we'll get into that as we go. That's just a setup for it, folks. I don't go to strip clubs to see chicks lose digits. That's my own personal note. Then I wrote that's what third world countries are for. With apologies to some third world countries or anybody who has leprosy. I guess I should really apologize for that. There's nothing going to kill your buzz. Then, if a chick's foot falls off while she's trying to spin on a stripper pole.
I will say,
am I right about this?
Part of the horror, some of the horror elements in this did if they wanted to freak me out, they did a decent job.
Okay.
Great.
Number one.
Paul,
just thinking about it.
Paul, what do you got?
Number one, we got a great cameo from our girl Kenya Moore, which.
Who's that?
She was in this. Real Housewife of Atlanta.
Really?
I said, why doesn't she bring that up all the time?
Oh, was she the black stripper?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
right.
she was
a real
great.
Housewife.
She was actually.
She wasn't great. She wasn't. She had 3 lines, Chris.
Don't say that.
She's not.
Kenya, you were the best thing.
No, she's not. She's not great. She wasn't great. Now stop that. Stop dick sucking.
She's Gone with the Wind. Fabulous.
Okay, all right.
So can I just throw this out there? The last guy I dated, this is true.
Oh, Jesus
His
Christ.
nickname for me is Stigmata, which in hindsight might be one of many reasons why we did not work out.
Ew.
And this movie freaked me out because things happen to me, and I don't know how to explain them. And I saw my mom today, and I asked her if I have a secret twin, because there's no pictures of her pregnant, and there's no pictures of me as a little baby, and everyone said it was because I was ugly, and I don't know if that's true now.
Oh, my God. Paul, this is horrible.
I asked my mom, I was like, do I have a twin? And her exact answer was, Yes, that's why you have all those weird pains.
Oh, you got it. So this is your movie. This is not autobiographical.
I have a twin.
You got a twin. This is awesome. So wait, no, explain the stigmata thing. Now you just start bleeding out your eyes, or what? What's going on here?
No, like in this sense,
Or your
like,
hoo-ha?
whatever happens to somebody
I know.
else
So we'll talk
you.
about this. The phantom pain. Yeah, they have the twin share pain, I guess.
Yesterday, I looked down
Oh,
and
here we
my
go.
whole hand was like, my whole like finger was swollen. I had no idea why. It's my twin.
That's because your twin had it jammed up somebody's ass.
That
Yeah,
could be true.
that
I
could
heard
be-
she was a whore.
Ew. Paul-
And Helen tell you she was a whore.
Paul, you might want to wash your hands a little bit more when that shit happens.
My mom, I'm not kidding, was like,
Wow.
Yeah, she was like, Sarah, you're a twin. That's why you get all those weird pains.
Okay, so there you go. Wow, that's a lot more. Yeah, a lot more show out of this than we thought.
Cracked a case.
Seriously.
we cracked. Yeah, we have to crack this, Sarah.
We are no longer stumped.
Hey, any of you guys got a rubber? Were they still calling condoms rubbers back in 2007? Or was screenwriter Jeff Hammond born in the 40s? Does anybody still call them rubbers? I mean, except for old people, sailors. I guess if you're in the Navy, you call them rubbers. I've never called a condom a rubber, except in, as a joke. Who's got a rubber? Nobody calls them rubbers.
Boy.
That's
Yeah, I got a rubber. See.
Well, well, the guy was 34 years old, so maybe he would say rubbers. I don't know. Sometimes people get cut in half or create really bad CGI tattoos like this dream sequence around the hour and 10-minute mark. Crest, the fuck is going on with the CGI in this film? That guy's tattoo that comes alive on his chest like it's a crow.
Yeah.
That
was really
so weird.
really cheesy animation. I will say
Really bad.
The CGI they're doing on her missing limbs was good.
That was CGI?
And they chopped off her hand and her leg.
No, I thought that was practical effects, Crest.
No, that
come
was
on.
CGI. How
Where?
do you practically affect away someone's limb that's there? You have to digitally remove it.
Oh, I see. You're talking when she was on the pole or when she was laying on the table?
No, I'm talking about when she's like in the wheelchair and shit in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Those parts they did really well.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
this was
chest
bad.
animation,
This was
it
bad.
reminded me of the scene from Dumbo when everyone's like drunk as hell and the pink elephants are on parade.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, that's a Dumbo sequence. You're correct. All right, so there you go. And Crest does VFX, so she knows the skinny. But anybody can look at that scene, and it's pretty shoddy. That's where the money ran out, I guess. That $12 million budget. Where did the money go? I'm guessing Lohan was most of it.
Insurance, probably for her.
Oh yeah, she's very hard to insure.
And production delays. I bet a lot of it went into that.
Okay.
I bet that's why they ran out of money is because they had to keep doing production delays for her.
I'll go with that. Okay. Bleeding wounds explained, and I wrote that in capitals because that's what appears on the screen. You know your film is dated when you see the ass.com search engine. Hour and 12-minute mark. That's for you tech people, you're gonna get that. It's Google. People, for those that don't are too young to remember, there was a thing called ask.com and Ask Jeeves, and there were some other search engines pre-Google. But that's for us old people. I'm Art Bell, and these are the mysteries of the mind.
Was that supposed to be like Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah, your film sucks when you'd rather watch this live-action Simpsons character droll on about stigmata in a pre-YouTube video.
Oh,
He is.
Never mind. That's right. I forgot.
it's a real show.
Well, we'd rather watch him than Lohan with their rubbing. Damn it. Then Lohan with the rubber hand oven that looks like, fuck, I blew that whole joke. Doesn't matter. Hour and 13-minute mark. I got so caught up in this Art Bell character. He's an actual guy, but he looks like a live-action Simpsons character because his lip protrudes out. Maybe that was my YouTube video watching. I don't know. Maybe it was, but he looks kind of wacko. He's like a bad Rod Serling. And he was smoking, right? Was he smoking on camera?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's hard. Yeah, that's hardcore, man. I like that. Okay, so Art Bell's been around for years, and that show does not exist. But anyway, she goes on Ask.com, and apparently in 2007, those little videos popped up like now. Like, that would have taken 40 hours to render. I don't know if you folks were around in 2007. I'm assuming all of us were.
It wasn't that bad.
It was slow. It was slow. Yeah, it was a cheesy video. Anyway, she gets information that the stigmata, which Polton just horrified us with earlier about her story about her twin, that the twins share pain even across great distances. So,
Wait, but for real, twins don't work
here
like
we
this,
go.
guys. Like,
Yeah, they do,
this
actually.
isn't how twins work.
How do
Yeah,
you...
But
Pelham, you haven't
it's
found your
not
twin
that,
yet.
Like if one loses a limb, the other one does.
No, that does not happen. But you would feel the pain. It's taken to the extreme here. So the impetus is that she has a twin, and the twin is the one who lost the limbs, and the stripper is suffering because of it, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But hang in there. We're not there yet.
I'm tired of this shit. Well, so are we, Neil. But sadly, there's still 20 minutes left in the running time to figure this twin shit out. All right, does anybody care at this point? The hour and 20 minute mark. So, now we gotta backtrack on this one. She lost this one first. So did I. So if a stripper suddenly starts losing fingers, it's probably due to some weird stigmata twin shit and not leprosy. That's what I wrote on this one. So what's the deal, guys? So this does not. They can feel pain. In the real world, not in this stupid movie logic. But if one twin loses a limb, like Polton's twin right now lost a finger in a combine.
You gotta stop this. This is
no. Wait. I'm just saying.
You're not gonna get like spontaneous gangrene.
Right? No, is Polton's finger gonna? Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, that's my question.
No, but for real, twins don't work like this.
No,
so
it doesn't.
Not even like if she secretly had a twin, that still wouldn't connect them psychically. Like, I need a gypsy cursing them or some shit.
Here we go. What are you, in a Stephen King novel? It's not a gypsy cursing them.
Well,
that would make sense.
Yeah, all right. With apologies to Stephen King. So, legitimately, there has been stories chronicled of twins, sharing pain and pleasure or whatever. They have a psychic connection. We know this. It's been documented.
Most twins, can I just say, that's total bullshit. There's very few twins that kind of stuff has ever happened to.
Really? No, I thought this was
My
legit.
cousins are identical twins. None of that shit's real.
Maybe we gotta ask the Soska sisters. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
I think there's like some sort of like unexplained connection that can exist between twins, but not like that. Like
not to this extreme where they're losing limbs.
Not even necessarily like the pain thing. Like if you hit one twin, the other twin's like, ow.
Right. So Lohan's character, while she's stripping, loses a finger in the middle of her stripping thing, and it falls off. It literally falls off because her other twin, Aubrey, actually, because the guy was sewing off at the exact same time.
And then she like tries to tape it back on.
Right.
This is what happened.
No, she's sewing it on. She's
Well,
sewing it on. She
Lo-
tapes it down so she can sew it.
This is what's gonna happen if you repeal Obamacare.
Oh, God.
Lohan's character would have bled out long before she can sew her dead finger on, or her foot. She does lose a foot later on. She would have bled out, guys. There's no way. You have to get to a hospital. She won't even go to a hospital. This is the dumbest stripper in the world. Like, I can't afford a hospital.
Nah, man, that's what happens when you don't got insurance.
I always felt like half a person. Then I said, wonder which half Lohan has said okay to appearing in this mess. Why did she do the film? I'm guessing complete paycheck. At the time,
she thought this would be like the edgy type, because like Brian De Palma, like.
Oh, is that what she was shooting for?
Or like David Lynch type bullshit that would like elevate her to like adult actress.
Well, she should have went with either David Lynch or Brian De Palma, not this fucking moron
I don't think either one of them wanted to.
Carl Silverstein, who the fuck directed this thing? I don't even know who the hell directed it. Chris Silverstein, and writer Jeff Hammond. Yeah, they picked a winner. All right, well, that's what you get. I can't risk losing them. Was Neil McDonough on medication for most of the shoot? He's barely alert on camera. That's what I wrote. Phoned in performance from Neil. He's a very spirited actor and a very intense actor. Here he's on lithium, I think, for most of the shoot. He also should have red herrings stamped on his forehead for the entire running time. Boy, he's such an obvious villain. Like, he's not the villain. He's the obvious red herring villain. Anybody get that? Like, he's always creeping on shadows.
Yeah. He was like a Law and Order red herring villain.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. I know who killed me. We only had to wait an hour and 26 minutes into the running time before we finally heard the title of this turd. Woohoo! There you go, folks. There you go. Okay.
You know a movie is good when they say the title of the movie in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, if it was actually a good movie, they wouldn't need this.
What's her name? Lohan's character, Dakota Moss, not Aubrey, convinces Neil McDonough, who's the father of Aubrey, that she is a twin and that Aubrey's still out there, and they know who the. Well, no, she says, "I know who killed me." So she finds out who. Right. So she knows who the killer is and where he lives. And now we have to go to the killer's house. And now we're at the serial killer's house. We haven't told you folks. We've been very good about spoilers about who the serial killer is. I know everybody's been waiting on the edge of their seat for this, and it's coming up right now. Fuck you. Anyone want to call bullshit on Lohan's ability to cut off the killer's hand around the hour and 32-minute mark? She goes down in the basement. Neil McDonough goes in the house first and disappears. So instead of staying in the car like a normal person would, Dakota Moss with her robo stripper hand and leg.
She's like, I feel it.
Yeah, she goes in after and immediately ends up in the basement because that's where all serial killers have their layout, the floor plan.
So she knows that her sister has been buried alive.
Right.
So you know where she looks for her? In the basement of a house. Not outside,
right?
Right.
Not in the woods. Oh, look, a basement. Perfect.
I know.
Let's go check that shit
But she
out.
finds a knife, like one of the glass knives he's been carving, which are really impractical, not really very sturdy weapons, but all right. And she manages to trap the guy's hand in the door and cut off his hand, which would be... First of all, I don't think that character would have been... Well, maybe she would have been capable.
Well, and
of doing
then
it,
he's like the Terminator, and he's like, okay,
I know.
I'm still coming after you.
Blue Man Group Killer, pimp slaps Lohan with her own robotic hand around the hour and 35-minute mark, which may have been the funniest laugh in the entire film. That was awesome. That's when you know you got the pimp slap, like when you rip your hand off and then slap them with it. So yeah, there's this showdown inside because we still don't know because he's wearing a blue mask. He's the Blue Man Group Killer. That's what Chris mentioned earlier. Why did you come back? You should be dead not by now. And here we go, folks. Here's the big reveal. Killer turns out to be the Elton John piano teacher from the opening minutes of the film. Surprised? Perhaps. Did I care? No. At the hour and 30-minute mark, I was so disgusted by this film, I didn't give a shit who the killer was. I didn't care if it was Neil McDonough or Julia Ormond. It didn't make any sense. Like, why would it be this guy, though?
Motivation, besides being a psycho who was mad when his students disappointed him, you needed to show, like, a little bit about, what made him tick.
Well, what's the motivation? Why does he kill it? Why does he cut off, like, the hand and the leg?
Because that's what it takes to play the piano. You
Oh,
play the piano
really?
without a pedal foot.
That's not explaining it. No, that's not. So anyway, yeah, he's a complete
that's why he cuts off those things in particular, because he's disappointed them somehow.
Oh,
I can't believe I'm actually explaining.
I can't believe you actually figured that out. I did not figure that out. I didn't give a shit. So the funniest thing is, though,
I've seen it more than once to my detriment.
The funny thing is, like, after he gets his hand cut off, he throws it in ice. He's sitting at the piano. He's trying to play with one hand. And then he's trying to attach his hand back onto his wrist, like it's gonna snap on, like it's an action figure. And then he gets mad. He can't do it.
He does.
Oh, does he? I don't think he does. I think he throws it down because I think he's frustrated because he couldn't. He's bleeding out.
Does he just put the ring on the other hand?
That's right. So anyway, yeah, he goes back down and they have a big fight scene. And
is he Blue Lantern?
Yeah. All right. There's for you nerds out there, you're gonna get that one. So basically, she grabs one of the other glass weapons. I don't understand. There's a lot of stuff like why he's creating stained glass, what the blue motif is. She stabs him to death, basically, with one of these. Before you can explain to it.
And why is he killing all of his former students?
He
because
doesn't.
they realized he was
There's
a creeper, and then
he's not.
them?
He's not in the film enough to even be a creeper. He's not in the film. He's literally at the beginning of the film, and then this scene.
They don't explain anything.
Well, there's like 45 red herrings. You have the creepy gardener guy.
Oh yeah.
You have the guy on the bus. You have the boyfriend, and you have the father. It's like we have. Doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Too many.
Anyone want to hazard a guess as to how Lohan's twin is still alive at the end of this turn, despite being buried alive? How did she end up alive?
Because Lindsay Lohan didn't stop breathing.
Your air supply is very limited when you're buried alive. Not that I would know about this, but Christ. Film ends on a weird Soska Sisters note. Again, there's another reference to the Soska Sisters as Lohan curls up with her twin in the middle of the woods instead of going to get help like any sane stripper would do.
Well, her leg ran out of juice. So.
Why would you just lay there and not go crawl to get help?
Also, the dad is dead. That's great, too.
Yeah, Neil we should mention, Neil McDonough bites it. We don't even get to see him get killed.
Well, hopefully he had a great life insurance policy.
That's how the film ends, folks. Crest on credits? Is there anything on there?
Nothing.
So there you go. There's your... Geez, wait, I don't even know what to say. It's a terrible letdown after...
This movie is like when you get brave at Chipotle and you get too much spicy salsa and then you are paying for it later.
Or your twin's paying for it. Your twin's paying for it right now.
We figured out my stigmata, and I folded all my laundry. So
there you go.
It was a win-win. Real sad Saturday night, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad Saturday night.
What? My sad Sunday mornings in my late 20s when I was like... watching this movie on premium cable and hungover. So this paid off.
There you go, folks. That is I Know Who Killed Me for this week. Man, oh man, we took it out and played with it a lot longer than we should have. Can we flush it, ladies? Can we please flush it?
Oh yeah, let's give it the falling off middle finger.
There you go. Consider flush. That is it for this week. Thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin, Raging Buddha B movie queen Nora Crest, and sassy cinephile Sarah Paulton. Great job as always, ladies. We're gonna be back next week to torture you with something else, and hopefully have a guest to level us out as usual. In fact, we are. We'll see. I'll check my goddamn schedule. Until then, say goodbye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That's fucking weak. That's nothing.
That's how this movie makes me feel. Bye. Bye, Felicia.
It drains the blood right out of you.
Oh, hey-oh, Jesus.
Hi, this is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.